Finally, the FRC has finally come. They say they've come to stay, and they are planning on creating Islamic banking in the southern part of Nigeria. And we know that for a fact that the US government have banned Islamic Sharia, the Sharia law, and at the same time they banned the Sharia court, and at the same time now they are banning the Islamic banking, plan that the Fulanis and the Tinubu government are trying to implement in the south. Do you have anything to say as regards?
It's a global movement currently now, and not only from the United States of America. We are seeing some of these things coming from Britain, and we have seen some of these things coming from Canada. We have seen some of these things coming from some countries per se. So that's what is happening all over the world now, and there's this clearly we don't know how the federal inland system or group or organization or a group of them that are coming together. They said they want to directly bring it to the entire southeast and middle belt, and it's going to be by force. And the American intelligence have already shown that this organization or financial institution, let me tell you, whether it is left for them to know whether where they are coming from. But the intelligence report that is coming from the United States of America indicates that they want to impose this jihadist Islamic banking in the entire Middle Belt and in the eastern part of the country, its main eastern bloc, and which is Biafran land. And the U.S. government intelligence is saying no, this thing is not going to be happening because we have seen a direct push, to stop advancement of Sharia in the southern part of the country. We're also seeing the U.S. government, rising that some of these institutions they are creating are just channels in sponsoring activities that is connected to terrorism that is connected to killings, it's connected to logistics of the jihadist activities, currently in Nigeria. So what it means at this particular time is that the United States government, under Donald Trump, has come out and made it very publicly, that this secret agenda must be stopped immediately, and that's one of the reasons why he has decided that Nigeria is a country of concern. What we need to understand here very clearly is that there is uneasy within the Arab world currently now, who has seen that the continuous push of Islamic government in the southwest, in the western south West Africa, for instance, especially in Nigeria, has continued to create more animosity, has continued to generate, almost of their plans are being exposed, on daily basis, and it is actually, backfiring. And you can see the number of names that are already piled up there in the Oval Office, and you'll be surprised, that the most of these people we are looking at today are presently meeting with some organizations related to, some groups, we are also involved in their names are there. Nigeria is going to marvel to the marrow. Forget what they are doing now. The United States government have taken their stand completely, and that is what it means. Yes, the quest, to carry out this agenda and begin to convert commercial, institutions, to an act of Islamic, banking, or where they begin to issue some kind of penal code, processes of withdrawal and other, like we are gradually experiencing in this APC government, where everything is highly taxed and deeply, monetized. So the fear is already there, and that's what the United States government will have to bring this to a certain level of exposure, especially those who are already targeting that they must make sure that they conquer them in all ramification, using the financial institutions, using the political movement, using any form of several means of doing their stuff, gradually, then. But unfortunately, it's like they forgot, they didn't foresee it coming, that a day will come like this when the United States of America government, will deeply, focus on Nigeria 24 hours, and that has continually exposed this some of these activities we are witnessing today.
Okay, but on social media, I saw some of the youth on social media saying that if they actually bring this banking, Islamic bank to the southeast, that they're ready to what, to destroy that process, because they said it's another means of bringing terrorists back to the southeast, causing mayhem, causing problem in the middle belt and the southeast, just like the way they're trying to, instead of them trying to resolve this issue, they're trying to bring them back to the southeast and the middle belt. Do you agree with
Yes,
that?
they maneuver a lot of things. They paint a certain picture. At the end of the day, they carry out another agenda. That's what it means. So there's this a fear, a palpable fear, that with tension already, that we don't need this bank to start operating, right there in disguise as commercial banks, or commercial banks in disguise, but within your operation, they are beginning to sponsor cells, create cells, jihads, cells, within all nooks and cranny of this thing, all in the name of pushing that. So the youth are already, seeing this thing as a very big error, and this is happening under APC government currently now, and that is why a lot of people are saying at this point, that we are not talking only about invasion of Nigeria by the U.S. military. They should also look inwards to be able to sustain whatever achievement they are going to achieve with that invasion by doing a little more, to make sure that Nigeria go their separate ways. There's this balkanization, everybody stay on their own in preparation. That even if that is going to be something that is not comfortable with you, but at least you are capable of defending yourself and your territory as a sovereign nation, as a kingdom, as a system that has come to understand what is already on ground. But this quest for unity, gives room for people to manipulate a certain process other in the name that Nigeria is one, and they continue to plant, this evil up and down in all nooks and crannies, which will not really go well, definitely. And I can tell you, it will be kicked out in the next 48 hours, given what we are hearing at this point in time, because the professionals of Biafran professionals, both home and abroad, have started working towards that. There's also this fear of trying to depopulate the Biafran nation. I don't know where that is coming from, but I think also be careful with those who are engaging themselves in things that has to do with connecting to health issues, healthcare, health services. They need to be very careful. And now that everything is falling apart, the Biafrans at the Eastern Bloc need to sit up properly. I know that this time around, yes, everybody needs to be very conscious. Given the fact that it looks like at the end of the day we are going to push from where we are now to the next level.
Okay, but why are the youth? Why are they not looking at it from the angle of this Islamic banking might give them jobs? A lot of Biafran youth have been complaining as you guys sit at home in the southeast. But do you not think that if this Islamic bank finally comes to stay in the southeast, at least some other persons might get jobs, because new Islamic bank might emerge in the southeast? But another point we can still look at this issue is the aspect of a lot of people have accused some of the Igbo leaders of using this Islamic finance banking to finance terrorism, and the Nigerian government using it to finance terrorism there in the southeast. But as for the youth, do you not think that them coming will create more jobs for them?
They're not better job they're going to get when the sovereignty of Biafra finally comes, when they'll be sure of what they are engaging themselves into. Now they cannot be sure of what they are getting themselves into, apart from the one we are seeing from the southeastern politicians who are liaising on, leveraging on the weakness we are having today, to get involved in something that has brought burden, to the youth of that part of the world. So I think there's nothing they want to gain. They know how much they want to pay. The Eastern Igbo youths are very extremely hardworking people. Without banking support and all that, they will definitely support and create their own banking system themselves. They don't need an Islamic banking. They have what it takes. If you look at the banks in Nigeria, commercial banks in Nigeria, it was the Igbos that has kept those banking standing today, because of their commercialization spirit, and in everything they do. So if you look at that angle, yes, it will look like it's going to have create jobs for them and all that. But I can tell you they are wiser than that. Than that kind of cosmetic job meant on pushing them to something that are not in connection with what they represent and what they stood for, where they're coming from, and their originality. So there's going to be massive resistance in that angle. Definitely there'll be resistance. There'll be resistance, I can tell you that. And when it happens, you will be surprised that it is as dead, as dead on arrival. That's what it means. Thank you.